Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Huddle. My name is Andrea, and I'm going to be your host for the day. Before we start, allow me to start with a joke of the day. Do you guys know why the candle quit his job? He was burned out. Good morning again, and welcome to the Daily Huddle. Saurel and Gio are not here today. However, they spoke with me about the opportunity of talking to you guys about the need for some of us to quit our 9 to 5. But before we start about this topic, I would like to ground us in a present moment. So we have a set of questions that will allow us to get there, and let me start. It's good to see your beautiful face, everybody. So let's start in order, and I am not going to call you by your name. I'm actually going to ask you, Project 24, tell us what you are about and how are you feeling today?
What I am about is saving other families from the grief of losing a family member to suicide. That's what I'm about. And the second question?
How are you today?
I am the way I say that I am. And today I say I am stupendous.
I love it. I did officially ask you because you always make up a word and I love it. So thank you for that. Stan,
Yes.
where are you?
Wow. Hi, Andrea. So good to see you. You know what?
Good seeing you too.
I'm seeing you. So you know what? I must be right here.
Where? In the place that you will have to be,
The place I
right?
have to be. The only place I've ever been is right here.
Exactly. Let me ask you, Chase, what time is it?
Grand Rising. Wow, I haven't seen you in forever.
I know.
It's great to see you. Look great. The time is now. Right now.
Is the only time we have, right? Is the only time.
I don't know what else there is.
Exactly. The next two questions are very emotional. The first one is, who will you hug today? So I invite you first to hug yourself. So that's the person who we're going to be hugging first. And then I'm going to ask Harumi. Harumi, who will you hug today?
Good morning. Thank you for asking. Well, yes. I'm going to hug my husband, Honey Bob.
Honey Bob.
Honey
Just
Bob.
send Honey Bob a hug from all of us.
Honey Bob.
Awesome. And the last question, Rashida, all about grateful, being happy and content with what you currently have. What are you grateful for?
Oh, good morning, Green Rising. I am so grateful for life itself and grateful for friendship. I am so grateful for friendship. Oh, it's so amazing to have friends, and the one thing that love you more is much better.
That's absolutely true. I love it. That grateful for love and friendship. And in that theme of love, I just want to call out our happy moments to all those veterans coming up in this celebration that is coming. So all our love to those loved veterans. Okay, so why don't we get situated in the topic of today, which is this 9 to 5 idea, this idea of you having to work for somebody in that strict time frame between 9 to 5 and the mentality associated with staying in that 9 to 5. So the idea today is I have one thing that if you're thinking about quitting your job, either for start a new to start a company or to have a side gig, there's some things that I'm going to speak with you about it, but I'm also going to ask you to conduct an exercise with me. My camera is out of focus. Give me 1 second. Yeah, much better. Okay, so before we start diving into that exercise, which I promise you is going to help you see the way that you're currently working on in a path for potentially quitting your 9 to 5, there are several reasons why people quit and decide to stop doing what you're doing. They can be both personal or professional. And the common factors that contribute to making that decision could be entrepreneurship is at heart. You have a strong desire to start your own business, to be your own boss, to manage your time. There's a strong feeling about that. So that could be one of the factors that can contribute you quitting your job. Work-life balance. This is one that is a little bit cliche, but it's so true because we all are trying to find a healthy balance between working and having a quote unquote life outside work. Another factor could be the lack of passion, lack of interest. This is you feel that is a mundane activity. Could be another of the factors that will take you into the path of quitting your job. Career advancement in another job or in another industry. You may feel stagnant. You may feel that you have gotten to a point that there's no more advancement. Therefore, your challenging, driven personality is asking you that your current role be modified so you can continue in this career advancement opportunity path. It could be also personal or family reasons, life changes. We all are experiencing a changing and constant evolution. It could be the birth of a child. It could be the death of somebody. It could be you helping and caring for family members. That will take that priority and will eventually take you in the path of quitting your 9 to 5. Burned out is the joke that I had at the beginning of the day. Why did the candle quit his job? Well, because he was burned out. Excessive workload, pressure, stress can lead to burned out. And individuals experiencing that type of feelings are in search in a path for healthier options that better align to their priorities in life. Financial independence. We have a really good team of people on Monday talking about money. They have always told us about the importance of financial independence. Maybe even if you have a 9 to 5, this could be an opportunity to think about a side gig that will bring additional income to your life. Another one, there is a big conflict between the values of the company you work for and your values in life. The culture clashes. You don't feel that you belong to something larger than yourself. So technically, that could be another of the factors you make a decision about quitting. Right now, after COVID, remote work opportunities. Right now, there is not anymore this, you have to come to a strict physical facility, work from 9 to 5, and leave, go back to work. Of course, they're coming back into a hybrid approach, and you have already experienced the beauty of working remotely. So that could be another of the reasons. So as you can see, I have listed several, almost 10 of those reasons and factors that are making you think that quitting your 9 to 5 or starting a side gig are an opportunity for you. So now I'm going to focus on the potential steps into getting in this path of quitting your job. Before I get there, do I have any questions in the room? Do you have any other factors that you would like to add to the list that I provided to you guys? Is there any things you also have heard from people who have quitted, that they quit their 9 to 5? Is there anything else that you want to add? I don't see any hands raising. So let's just keep the momentum. No matter the factors or the reasons as to why you want to quit your job or start a side gig, they are officially 5 steps that are in the common knowledge. I'm going to list them quickly, but I'm going to ask you to do one that is not that common knowledge to be the first step. So let me list the ones that people tell you about what to do and what order. And I'm going to tell you, let's change that narrative and you just try this one step before you quit. People tend to say, before you quit, you must assess your finances. You have to know where you are financially speaking, evaluate your situation, calculate your monthly expenses, potential income for the new, everything related to finances. This will give you peace of mind. This will ensure you have enough savings to cover while you try to find a new income revenue. And it takes, because taking a new endeavor, embracing and empowering your life through a new endeavor is going to take time. So some people say, you know what, assess your finances before you quit. Great. That's a great advice. I'm not pushing back on it at all. Other people say, you know what, you must define your goals and the plan as to why you're leaving your 9 to 5. What is what you want to achieve? What is this new career path? How is that aligned to your goals? So creating a very detailed business plan as to, this is my mission, this is my vision, these are my goals, this is how I'm going to get there, have financial projections, have a marketing plan. All of that is great. Financially stable or defining your plan and your goals is another great advice. Other people say, you know what, before you even think about quitting your 9 to 5, you have to have a support system. Inform your close friends that you're thinking about quitting. Tell your mentors about the decision you're going through and the process to get there. Acquire hands-on experience into those who have done it before so you can seek advice from them. That's a great advice. Because those people may tell you, hey, I experienced the positive, I experienced the negative. You could prevent the negative by doing this. So just building that support system around you. Number 3, great. We have talked about number 1, being financially stable and having a plan. The second one, having a business plan that will allow you to be more comfortable. This number 3 is, it doesn't matter the plan, it doesn't matter financial. If you don't have a system that supports you, it's going to be very difficult to quit your job. Let's move into number 4, which is, if you're going to quit your job or start this new gig, you must acquire all the knowledge and the skills possible before you can quit. Take additional courses, learn and gain certificates, acquire hands-on experience. Just being well prepared may remove that anxiety, and that could be another good advice. Fantastic. The last one will be, test your idea. Don't quit your 9 to 5. Before you make this full commitment, you just consider to conducting a small pilot, a new venture in a smaller scale with a smaller audience, people who know you. Maybe you do some freelancing, maybe testing the waters. Great advice as well. You can start building a customer base, gain experience, and that will allow you to transition into potentially a full-time or a truly full-time side gig. 5 great pieces of advice. Be financially stable, create a business plan, surround yourself by people that are going to support you, develop all the skills necessary to do so, and test your idea. Sounds very, very good. What I will invite you to do and think differently this time is think about the problems of the people you're going to serve have. Think about the problems that the people that you're going to serve have. For example, if you're a business coach like myself, I will start by saying people, entrepreneurs usually struggle the first 2 years by balancing a workload and a time commitment, forcing them to work 80 hours a week. That's a problem, right? You create a list of all the problems those people may face. And then in front of it, you create a list of possible solutions you will offer to them. So this is a different point of view. This is thinking that if you have recognized a problem in your industry, in your audiences, in the people you want to serve, but you don't have a solution that is going to make them feel better, to move from stagnation to achievement, to help them overcome the grief of somebody who have committed suicide without the proper tools. For example, in Chase's idea and scenario in the artistic realm, if they don't find, if there's not a problem, like you feel lonely and music is going to bring you connection to those who are around you, you will truly, potentially, I'm not going to be that black and white, but you may potentially don't have a business focus on solutions. It's not a business that is going to grow based on what people need. People, generally speaking, are in a path of suffering if they don't have solutions that will make them feel better. So what I ask you to do right before even thinking about quitting your job is, what are the problems that bother me as a person, that I struggle with, that my close friends and family are struggling with? And what are the solutions, the products that I can create to make their lives easier? All of this comes before you make a decision about your business name, your gig site, your website, your email, your marketing. Forget about it. That will come in a much faster and strategically way if you start by identifying the problems and providing those solutions. So let's talk about the problems. Problems will come potentially in three forms. There are internal problems. This is how I feel. External problems. This is how it's showing around me. And things that are culturally driven into your value system. So if you're having a hard time listing the problems, I encourage you to use artificial intelligence. It's a tool that we currently have in our hands that everybody's like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. Use it to inspire your thinking and to allow you to potentially list and create a list of problems that the audience is currently struggling with. Yes, ChatGPT. So if you are giving that tool a specific direction, for example, list the 10 top problems people who are struggling with in the business environment, or I'm going to use your example in the suicide prevention. What are the top 10 problems people or families who have a family member who has committed suicide are struggling with? And then ChatGPT is going to list the top 10. If you want to go more and say, add 20 more. If you want ChatGPT to tell you, and that will find at least a starting point for you to do some research and to say, you know what, I don't know anything about this. I don't want to focus on this. My niche is more around mothers. And you start dissecting that information from artificial intelligence to make it your human solution. So you have your list. Let's say that we agree that it's going to be 10 problems. You take some time to prioritize it, to niche down exactly it. In another column, and I think visually, think about a spreadsheet, think about a Word document that has 2 columns, And in the next column, for each one of those problems, you're going to create a solution. For example, my case, I have several businesses, but right now I'm really focusing on helping those who are overworking and want to implement a 4-day work week. That's it. So the problem is overworking. What is the solution? It's called a custom assessment. We will conduct 2 sessions in which I'm going to tell you, you tell me your issues, and then we create a plan that you can activate and you can test for a month to 3 months on how to work only 4 days a week. So the problem is overworking, and you create a very specific solution for that problem. Make sense? Okay. So this conversation is all about you as the guide. I don't know if you're familiar with the hero way of telling stories. There is a problem. This hero is struggling with something. They find a guide who is going to help them overcome the barriers and the problems. They find a solution because this guide provided them with a plan of action. They follow the steps, and either it's a successful story or it's a failure story. But technically and usually, the hero story, it becomes a better person after the plan that the guide provided to them. So I want you to think in your businesses, again, it's blurry. Allow me to close this and try it again. So in your business, I want you to think not as the hero, but as the guide. That is your challenge. It's not that you are the one providing the solutions and you are the one making the change for that hero. Is the hero is your audience, who is the one using your plan and your solutions to be a better person. Change the narrative. You're not the hero in your business. You are the guide. In your business, in your side gig, in your hobbies, all of that is the same. Yes, thank you for that. It is thinking, and that's what I wanted to the result of this conversation will be a shift into 2 things. First, you can plan, you can have all the tools necessary to start your own business, start a side gig, but if you don't think about the problems you're trying to solve and the solutions you can create to solve those problems, it's going to be a more challenging path. Number 2, when you create those solutions, you are not the hero of your business. You are the guide of your business. And you will create those solutions with a clear path. So your heroes, your audiences, the people who you want to help are the heroes. This is the time for discussion. This is the time for questions. This is the time to say, no, Andrea, I completely disagree with you, which is totally lovely. I love that. So why don't we start?
Oh my God, that was totally brilliant. Total paradigm shift. Thank you.
What do you think that was for you such a key moment in thinking? Changed your thinking?
The shift from thinking as an employee of yourself to being the CEO of the company, and changing that mindset, and then just taking the actions as the employee, but having the mindset of the guide is really, oh my God, my day just changed. My day just totally changed.
Yeah. I hope for the good.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. Thank you.
Absolutely. Anybody else? Any questions, any comments? Anyone who wants to share maybe a process that you have incurred or encounter and you want to chat about it? I think Harumi, you're speaking, but you're muted. Maybe.
Oh, maybe. Can I just say something then?
Absolutely.
Yes, it's a great thing to review those items before quitting a job, but at the same time, so it's kind of discouraging the decision. It's not that way, right? But discouraging means like I may just want to quit. Well, I know you cannot do this probably the moment, but sometimes the moment gets you to next.
Oh, absolutely. I hear exactly what you're saying, Harumi. Like, I'm currently writing a book and it's about quitting. And some people from the interviews and the research that I've conducted, some people quit cold turkey, like immediate, and that's it. And it's totally okay. And the majority of people, very successful people, do it that way. The other group of people take a slow process. There's not anything in between. It's a very polarizing aspect on how people are quitting. So I agree with you. What I'm saying is, before you quit, just at least visualize what problem. You don't have to do the entire exercise, and you can quit because truly is for health reasons, the stress, truly you had enough. I empower you to do it. Of all people, I have quit clients, I have quit jobs, I went through a divorce. I'm all about quitting things that are not for you in a health way, mental stress that are not giving you the life you want. I agree with you 100%. What I'm asking you to think differently is, if you want to start a new business because you're quitting this 9 to 5 that is bringing you stress, you had enough. Before you do it, just take one day to write the problems and write the solutions. That's it. And you can quit the following day. Take an hour to do it. Take 10 minutes to do it. But before you quit, do that exercise. That's the challenge that I bring to the table.
Thank you. Yes.
Absolutely. Anybody else?
Yeah, I started kind of backwards.
You did.
I thought of
Tell me how so.
I thought of a new tool for suicide prevention. I thought of the solution. And I thought, okay, who needs this? And so I went from the solution side to who can I serve best with this solution?
Mm-hmm. Well, perhaps what I've noticed with people that I have worked with, that usually you're a very creative mindset. So there are kind of 3 types of people who run businesses. There's a creative one, there's the operator, and there's the one that is the creative side of it. So you're probably more in the creative side, finding those solutions. Perhaps you have identified the problem, but have not truly written it down. You know what the problem is. You probably have not clarified what it is. So if the solution, can you elaborate in that solution?
Certainly. The problem is that people do not reach out at that moment of decision. They make excuses not to call people, or they can't think of who to call. If they make it as far as going to their phone to scroll through their contacts, then they make those excuses not to call. So my solution is about removing friction and making it easier for them to call. It's not going to work for everybody, but if it saves one life, it's doing its job, right?
Fantastic. But see how you connected the problem? Making excuses, barriers that you actually put it, and you are somehow creating a solution that is going to remove the friction. Yeah. Fantastic. That is that point of connectivity. And you will be the guide in that process. Yeah. So thank you. Fantastic. Absolutely. We are a minute before we have to complete this amazing discussion. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being present. As you know, we invite you to come from Monday to Friday in a very vast topics of discussion. I'm glad that I was here. I'm glad to be your host today, and I will see you guys later. Bye.
Thank you, Andrea. Bye-bye.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Andrea.